lifetime in waffles?
I'm starting right now. Do what you will, but just do it quietly. All right. It looks like we are live. So, welcome to live chat with Chad here. What I'm going to start out with is this 2021 or 2001 Topps 50th anniversary box I bought. I bought it to chase Ichiro. Ichiro is one of the top investments that I did in, or that I'm looking at doing in 2024. And I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this before, but the cards come and they are bricked together. So what I'm going to do today is show you guys how to deal with bricking cards. There's a lot of things on the internet that talk about how cards get bricked or how to undo them. None of them work as well as this. So you're going to take a set of bricked cards and you're going to gently go all in every direction, and you can hear it kind of cracking. Move them a little bit. You don't want to wreck the cards by doing too much. This prevents paper loss. As you free them up, the cracking will stop and the cards will come apart very nicely. I bought this, as I said, to go Ichiro hunting. I have yet to find the Ichiro card in here, as I wanted to do some of this unbricking of the cards live with you guys so that I could show you how it is done. There's so much bad information on the internet right now on how to handle the bricked cards. And I didn't want you wrecking your cards if you come up with this. This happens in 89 Upper Deck. This happens with the 2001 Topps. As you can see, some of these are some serious 2-3 inch type bricks. You want to try and get them into the small 8 to 10 cards at a time. Just gently move them around. And look how easy they come off. There's no paper loss involved in this at all. The cards just come across real easy. So, as I mentioned, Ichiro. Ichiro is one of my number one investments for 2024. He is going to be a shoe-in first ballot Hall of Famer for this next season. And I am starting to go after Ichiro cards now before the hype sets in. I think that his cards are very affordable right now, and you are going to see by this time next year, there's going to be a large spike in Ichiro cards. So go look for yourself for some Ichiro cards. When you get a brick this big, you can hear once they start to break apart, now they come apart in much smaller little sections. Sometimes it takes, you have to be careful that you don't bend the cards in half. But I've not found a way that is better than this to unbrick cards without damaging the cards. I have not damaged any of these cards since I started doing this. So I have this card of Ichiro. Should I hold it for next year? Yes, I would hold all Ichiros. I would get Ichiros. It doesn't necessarily have to be an Ichiro rookie card. If it is a serial numbered card, if it is a rare parallel or insert, if it is a autographed card, regardless of the year, I am currently looking at any and all Ichiro cards. So yes, collect as many Ichiro as you can between now and next fall. Get them graded if you can, if they look like they're going to grade well, and you will profit with Ichiro come next fall when he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. I believe that his stuff will do relatively well once the announcement takes place. So enough with the showing of the bricking of cards, but I wanted to show everybody how that was done. If you run into any issues with it, you can always message me. Yeah, if it's off centered, keep it raw, but even raw ones are going to sell. They're going to be worth some good money next year. So I would hang on to any and all Ichiro cards between now and then. And I would try and build some up in my portfolio if I were you. All right, so let's see if I can turn this camera and get this down on me. I think that'll work. So what we are going to be doing here is just talking some sports cards, talking some plays, and you guys feel free to chime in with any questions that you got. So first thing I'm going to do is cover some raw to grade tips for everybody, some cards to go out and chase. Instagram Live, I don't know as though how long it's going to stay up, so you might want to get a pen or a pencil handy and write some of this stuff down, because unlike YouTube, you're not going to be able to go back and watch this over and over again. So let me get this camera set. All right. So the first card that I am recommending is none other than Shohei Ohtani. I think any and all Ohtanis are probably good investments going into this year. His cards have really dropped significantly since last fall with the injury news. I think being in LA, and even though he's just hitting, there's going to be a lot of hype around him and Yamamoto. So hype will drive the card prices. So I've got some specific plays here for you guys to make money on. The first one is 2018 Topps card number 700. It is his pitching card, and this is the gold serial number to 2018. I like the gold where they're serial numbered to the number of the card year. So this is 2018. In raw condition, the most recent sale was February 15th. It was $400. This is not a cheap date to the prom. This is a little bit of more of a big boy card, but there's some money to be had here if you can do this. So raw $400. In a PSA 9, the most recent sale was February 18th, $800. So if you get a PSA 9, you double your money. If it gets a PSA 8, $430, you're probably out a few dollars because the grading fee is going to be more than $30 on this expensive of a card. You're especially well, I suppose you could do it at the $25 level and have them upcharge you because that's good to $4.99 for a value if you wanted to risk it. I personally would submit it at the $75 level and hope that for a 9 or a 10. But anyways, PSA 10 is going to sell for $2,000. So in raw, how hard is this card to come by? Because it's serial numbered. There were 35 sales of this card last year. There have been 3 card sales in the last 30 days. So it's not impossible to find, but it is a difficult card to find. In a PSA 8, it is a pop 76. That's 22% of the time you're going to get a PSA 8, probably break even or lose just a hair. A PSA 9 has a pop 147, which means 42% of the time you will get a PSA 9. 42% chance at doubling your money from $400 to $800. I like those odds. And believe it or not, a PSA 10 is also a 42% pop 83, so 42.9%. Now, the thing that you want to look at here is this is a serial numbered card, so how many of them are left? Well, amongst the big four grading companies, there have been 488 cards graded so far by all four grading companies. That leaves approximately 1,500 of these cards that are ungraded. So 2018 total cards, 488 have been graded by one of the four big grading companies. And some of those might have been cracked and resubmitted. So there's about 1,500 ungraded cards to choose from yet. So this is a little bit of a harder chase, but it is worth the chase if you can find it. Let's see what in the live chat here we got. I have a couple of factory sealed Topps 2001 limited edition sets. Would you advise opening the sets for the Ichiro cards or sell the sets next fall? This is a great question. I'm doing both. I have 5 of the limited edition gold boxed sets that I am keeping sealed, and I have 3 of them that I am ripping open. So I bought a total of 8. I've bought them for around $100 a piece, sealed. And like I said, I'm cracking 3 of them, doing Ichiro hunting as I am looking for hopefully some PSA 10s out of the boxes for those Ichiro cards. Did I make any of the Gretzky plays I talked about? Yes. There will be a future live where I crack the SGC 6 that you saw me post on Instagram. I thought about doing that today, and instead I chose to show you how to unbrick some sports cards. But yes, there will be a live. You'll get to watch me crack that card live, and we will talk about it. But yes, I have bought 3 of those Gretzky cards. The best one so far has been the SGC 6. I bought a couple lower grade ones as well, but I have not sent any of them in yet to be graded. So future video for that. I'm also going to be doing some future videos on some vintage restorations. I've really been getting big into card restorations. I've got a Topps Hulk Hogan rookie card that I bought in a PSA 1 slab that was creased all the way through the middle. And I've got that card restored to where I just sent it off to PSA. We're going to see how I do. I'm hoping for a PSA 6 or 7 as I was able to get rid of the crease on that card. So I will be doing some vintage how to restore cards videos in the future as well. So hopefully you guys will find these videos informative and helpful, and best of all, free. No subscriptions necessary here. I'm going to try, the next time I do this, I will probably try and do live on Instagram as well as YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel. However, it only has 1 video on it right now. I am working on getting that up off the ground, so I'll probably do live on both at the same time next time. Selling Roman Anthony this spring or holding? I am holding at the moment. Spring training is going to tell me a lot about Roman Anthony. I have about 25 Roman Anthony graded cards ready to go. I think that there is a chance that he could see a nice hype spike in spring training if he has a good spring training. And I also think that there is a slim chance that he could make the club out of spring training. I think most likely you're going to see Roman Anthony get called up, if I had to guess, end of May, early June would be my best guess. But we will see. Won't the crease reappear after time? No, actually, just like vintage art, when you restore something, it stays restored. So you do not have to worry about anything coming back crease wise. All right. The second play I am going to make. So the first play that we made was the Shohei Ohtani Gold, numbered to 2018. That was a little bit more of an expensive card. So I am also going to do a Shohei Ohtani for budget people that are looking for an inexpensive Ohtani play. That's going to be the 2018 paper base, card number 49. That card right now, you can buy that card for $23 as of February 18th. There have been 3,200 of those cards sold in the last year. So this is a very liquid card. This card sells. It's very easy to find. It is a high pop count. There is 23,000 of these cards graded at PSA alone. And there have been 209 sales of the raw card in the last 30 days. So a very easy card to find, very easy card to buy, and a very easy card to grade. So $23 is the raw price. A PSA 9 is $36. So if you spend the $20, the $19, $20 with shipping on a bulk play, you'll be out about $5 if it comes back a PSA 9. And that does 46% of the time, it does come back a PSA 9. However, 46% of the time, it also comes back a PSA 10. And in a PSA 10, it's $117. So you're talking about buying a card for $23, grading it for another $20, having $43 to $45 invested, and you get a 50-50 shot just about to get $115 to $120 card in return. It is a pop 10,560 in PSA 10. So this is a liquid card that moves very easily, but this is not a card that you would want to hold long term in terms of value because it is such a high pop count. The third buy in raw grade Ohtani, so it's a 3-pack of goodness here for Ohtani, is my favorite. It is, I absolutely love Heritage High Number Series purple refractor, purple hot box refractors they're called. I love that card, the way it looks. I actually own this card, but I'm making this play to see if I can get a second one. It is 2018 Topps Heritage card number THC 600. It is the purple hot box refractor of Shohei Ohtani. Raw, $255. There have been 51 sales in the last year, only 2 in the last 30 days. So much like the gold play, this is going to take a little bit of patience, as that is not a readily available card in raw condition. However, in a PSA 9, it sells for $300 as of February 15th. So you are looking at profiting about $25 if it comes back a PSA 9, which gem rates show 39% of the time it gets a 9. If it gets a 10, $850 as of February 18th. And believe it or not, it has a 57% gem rate. So more than half of the time, the cards that are getting sent in for this are getting a PSA 10. So to go from $255 to $850 at better than a 50% clip, this is a card that I am targeting, I am watching, and this is a play that I am making. All right, enough with the Ohtani talk. Let's get into some other plays here. Some other raw to grade plays. I've got a 2020 Mosaic Silver Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is one of the players that I am extremely high on going into this next NFL season. There's been a lot of hype around Herbert as he has Harbaugh now as his coach. He's never had a coach, a good coach, and yet he's put up good offensive numbers. So I'm very high on the Chargers and Justin Herbert this year. So PSA, well, Mosaic Silver, PSA 9 sells for $38. Raw, you can buy for $16. So essentially, a 9 gets you break even. In the raw, this card surprised me a little bit, as Mosaic is not that hard to come by, but yet there were only 25 sales of this card in raw condition in the last year and 4 in the last month. So a little bit harder to come by than I thought. The other thing is the data was skewed just a little bit. The most recent raw was $16 on February 9th. However, when you take the average of the last 4 sales, which were in the last 30 days, the average is actually $45. So you may have to pay $40 or $45 to get this card, in which case then you're going to be out your grading fees. But it's a chance I'm willing to take, because I think that by the time that these cards come back, the hype is going to start building. The draft will be over. We'll get to see what type of offensive weapons they put around Justin Herbert. And I think these prices are going to climb from now, steadily now, till July around the National. In a PSA 10, this card sells for $153. Most recent sale was January 14th. It is a pop 382, and it gems at 32%. So Mosaic Silver, we don't talk much about Mosaic. I've done some of the bulk plays in the past with other cards about the select silver cards, the concourse silvers. I've never done a Mosaic silver play. But after doing the research, I think that is a very good raw to grade and a very easy way for you to make some money on Justin Herbert. I am going to do a bulk play for Justin Herbert when we get towards the end of this live stream. So if you're interested in a bulk play, stay tuned for that. Now, some more raw to grades. I thought we would talk some baseball as we're coming into baseball season. I looked at the AL MVP odds, and I thought it to be interesting. Now that Ohtani has moved to the National League, who is going to win the AL MVP? It's a pretty wide open race. I think that Yordan Alvarez, Aaron Judge, and Juan Soto are 3 guys that could do it. All 3 of them are the favorites according to Vegas odds. There's also Corey Seager as well, but Corey Seager just doesn't sell very well for cards, so I did not do a Corey Seager play. Just simply the hobby doesn't give him much love. So looking at the Yordan Alvarez cards, obviously the Bowman Chrome first auto is the one to have. However, for the sake of doing something different here and to show you that you can make money on baseball cards that are not Bowman Chrome first cards, you always hear us talking about that, but there are ways to make money besides that. None of these plays for these next 4 players are going to be Bowman Chrome first. Just spoiler alert. So what I went with for Yordan Alvarez is his 2020 Topps Chrome card number 200. And I went for it in an X Fractor. I like the X Fractor look. It kind of gives you a little bit of a cracked ice look, checkerboard look, if you would. SGC card collector, not Trout. No, I don't believe Trout has any chance of MVP. He just cannot stay healthy enough to make a run at the MVP. I love Trout. If he stayed healthy, he maybe could. he's proven over the last 4 to 5 years he can't make it through an entire season. Therefore, he is not, in my opinion, consideration for MVP. So Yordan Alvarez, X-Fractor card number 200. In raw condition, you can buy this card for $20 as of February 18th. There have been 16 sales last year and only 2 in the last 30 days. So there's not a ton of these cards out there, but there are a few. The card gems at 67%. So even though there aren't a lot of cards on the market, this is a card that you have a very high rate at getting a PSA 10. So it's a card that I thought would be a fun one to have in a PSA 10. If you get a PSA 9, it's $33. With the grading fees, you're going to lose about $10. PSA 9s do go at 32% clip. So there is a chance that you could lose $10 on this play. However, the upside outweighs the downside, I think. In a PSA 10, it sells for $105. And I think that Yordan Alvarez is a player that you're going to see his cards rise this year. He is such a good player, and he's not going to be overshadowed by Ohtani in the American League anymore. So he's going to be hitting bombs and batting for batting average and playing on a good competitive team. I think Alvarez is, in my opinion, if I were placing bets, Alvarez is my pick for AL MVP this year. Good to hear your voice again. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. The next card that we're going to do is a 2018 Topps Chrome update. Card number HMT55. It is Juan Soto's pink refractor. I am very high on Juan Soto going back to the Yankees. I think that the San Diego ballpark does not do hitters any favors. I think that you are going to see Juan Soto have a very, very good year in New York. One of his best statistically in the last several years. And that is going to rejuvenate the card market as he is a bit of a hobby darling. His cards do sell well. He is on a Hall of Fame track right now for his career. So I like Juan Soto a lot. So 2018 Topps Chrome update, pink refractor, card number HMT55. Raw condition is $141 as of February 4th. There's only been one sale of this card in the last 30 days. So again, this card's going to take a little bit of effort for you trying to find it, but it is definitely worth it if you can find the card. I won't spoil the gem rate on this one. In a PSA 9, $295. So $141 if you can find this card raw. And in a PSA 9, it's $295. So how does getting a PSA 9 and doubling your money sound? I personally like the sound of being able to double my money on a PSA 9. So if you can double your money on a 9, what does that mean for a 10, right? All right. PSA 10, $484 as of February 17th. So you're going to 4x your money on a raw card, and get this, 778 of the 934 cards of this card that were graded got PSA 10s. That is a staggering 83% gem rate on almost 1,000 card sample size. That might be the single highest gem rate I have ever seen on a card. So this is definitely a card that I am chasing myself. I love the pink refractors. I love Juan Soto. And if I can get a 9 and double my money, or a 10 and quadruple my money, hell yeah, sign me up. I want some of that. 2017 Aaron Judge. I think Judge, Soto, and Alvarez. Who do you think is going to be the AL MVP? I'm thinking it's going to be one of these three. So Aaron Judge, 2017 Topps Chrome number 169. I'm going with a refractor. I'm not going with a base. I want a refractor in this card. Raw, this card sells for $111. There have been 2 sales in the last 30 days. So the card is available. And here, unlike Soto, this is the opposite, however, in a PSA 9. If you get a PSA 9, you're going to lose a little bit of money. PSA 9 only sells for $75. So you're going to spend $111, you're going to grade it, you're going to have $135 with shipping, and you're going to get $75 if you get a 9. So this is a card that you could potentially lose $50 on. So it's the riskiest play of any of the plays that I'm suggesting here today. And the upside isn't that high. The PSA 10 is only $240, so you're only going to double your money on a PSA 10. But I wanted to throw out an Aaron Judge option for you guys just because it's fun to have options, right? The PSA 10 is almost as high as the Juan Soto Pink Refractor, though. It has a gem rate of 81.5%. So 1,035 out of 1,270 cards graded of this Aaron Judge refractor have gotten PSA 10s. So not that high of an upside, and there is a little bit of a low side. But when you're talking an 80% gem rate for a chance to double your money, those are odds that I think I'm willing to take. So I am actually going to look for this card as well. As I've always done, guys, I'm not going to give you any information or any tips on cards to go and chase if I'm not willing to do them myself. So hopefully you will all profit along with me on doing this. I am hoping to do this live stream, if not weekly, every other week for sure moving forward. But I am going to aim for doing it weekly. I would like to get back to Wednesday evenings to make it a little bit easier. However, the next 8 weeks, I have a commitment already in the evening. So it'll probably be about this time every week if you want to mark your calendars. I will also let everybody know on Instagram when I'm doing a live ahead of time. Ronald Acuna Jr. is really, from the National League, other than Ohtani, Acuna is really the only other person that I would be chasing, thinking he has a chance at a back-to-back MVP type season. As I mentioned earlier with the Ohtani, the card I'm going to recommend here is the 2018 Topps Heritage, number THC 580. It is the purple hot box refractor. I don't know what it is about this card. I just love the purple hot box refractors. I think Heritage does an amazing job with the pictures. The photos are clean. They look great. The purple refractor looks great in a slab. I just absolutely love the hot box refractors. So let's go Acuna chasing here. In raw, this card sold on Valentine's Day for $70. This card's a little bit more available. There have been 3 in the last month, 43 in the last year. In a PSA 9, this card sells for $100. That also sold on Valentine's Day, and that is a 41% gem rate. So you can be looking at the very least covering your grading fees. So if you spend 70, you grade it for 20, you've got $90 invested. A PSA 9 is going to come back at $100. In a PSA 10, that card is at $231 as of February 19th. That card has a 55.6% gem rate. It has a pop of 388, so it is a very low population card, which is another reason why I like going after the purple hot box refractor. They are typically very low population cards, and they are very highly desirable. They sell great. But you have a 97% chance at a 9 or a 10, so there is very little risk involved in going after one of these cards. So that is probably the safest of the plays, besides the Juan Soto. If you guys are looking to make the money, the Juan Soto is really the play. Double your money on a 9 and quadruple your money on a 10. That is a play that we're all going to have to compete against each other, because after this, I'm sure we're all going to go out and try and snipe each other if there is one on eBay. So good luck to everybody doing that. But I think we can all profit. We've got time here to do. And the other thing that I want to do in the future, in addition to showing some restoration videos, in addition to cracking out that Wayne Gretzky slab that I bought, I also want to do a Bowman baseball only show. I might see if I can try and get Lefty to join me for that. But I want to give you guys my rankings on the 2023 Bowman cards. 2023 Bowman has been out long enough that if you watched the previous show that I was on, you heard me say back in December that I'm waiting until middle to end of February to buy. And if you've watched my Instagram live posts, you see that I have been buying a ton of 2023 Bowman draft baseball autographs recently. So now is the time for going out and chasing those 2023 Bowman draft baseball prospects. I might do that. I might try and do that one next week, just because from a timeliness standpoint, if you're going to chase those, the window is closing on that as spring training is approaching, and you're already this weekend going to have some scrimmage games that we're going to see. We don't need some of these prospects hitting bombs and their prices going up before we have a chance to profit on it together. So I might see if we can pull off next week's video on Bowman 2023 draft prospects. So let me know in the comments if there's something that you want to see. I can do videos on in the future. My Instagram messenger is open and available 24/7. Feel free to shoot me questions, comments, just sound off. You want to talk baseball, I'm always available for doing that as well. So I am no longer under contract to have to redirect questions to a certain place. So feel free to ask anything you want at any time. I'm here for you guys. All right, let's get into doing a couple of bulk plays. I have two bulk plays. Both are football quarterbacks, because this gives us plenty of time to find the cards, collect them, send them in, get them graded, and sit on them until July if you want. The nice part about doing the bulk plays is if you want to just turn them over and over again in 60 days in May, when you get these cards back, April, May, if you want, you can profit, and you probably have time to do two bulk plays. You could do one, turn the cards as soon as you get them back, and then do another one and have them ready for July. But I wanted to share some football with you guys as well. So the first play I'm going to talk about is, and it might surprise you a little bit because you hear a lot of people telling you that you want to wait on buying 2023 Prism football. And I am going to disagree with that. CJ Stroud is a generational talent. He had one of the best rookie seasons that we have seen from a quarterback in a very, very long time. Houston has more money than any other team in the NFL to spend this year on the salary cap. So as scary good as they were this year, they should be even better next year if they spend that money wisely. So I am anticipating CJ Stroud and Houston to have another good year next year. And don't forget that the National is in Ohio, where he played at Ohio State. So I think CJ Stroud is going to probably be the hottest quarterback prospect from now till football season. I think he will be hotter than Burrow and Tua and Herbert and Fields and any other prospect, I think that CJ Stroud is the player to own. So that said, I've done the research. I believe that his cards have plateaued. So his cards started out extremely high in December when they first came out. They are plateauing to a level that I think is sustainable for the rest of the year. So we're going to do a bulk play on this. 2023 Prism base card number 339. This is not the silver. This is not the cracked ice. Although if you want to mix and match, you certainly can put colored parallels in there. Might be a little bit more fun, add a little bit of variety to it. But the bulk play and the numbers that I'm going to talk about here are strictly the Prism base. So this card raw is down to $25. And I looked at the last 30 days where it appears to have plateaued about 30 days ago. In the last 30 days, the low is $23 and the high is $27. So that $25 where it sits right now is really right in that pocket, right in the middle of the high and the low. It's only a $4 fluctuation from high to low in the last 30 days. So I think that it has hit its bottom, at least for now. And I don't foresee it getting much lower between now and this summer, because hype is going to start building and those cards are going to start creeping back up in value. So $25 raw as of February 18th. There have been 3,200 sales in the last 30 days. So when I say the high was 27 and the low was 23, that is on 3,200 sales. So this is not a small sample size, guys. That's why I think that it has leveled off. When you're talking 3,000 sales with a $4 price variation, I think it's safe to say now is the time that we can buy this card in bulk and get it graded and make some money together. In a PSA 9, the card is selling for $53. So $25, you got a grading fee of $20. You're going to have 45 in it. You can get a $53 return, basically pays for your eBay fees, and you wash out on a PSA 9. On a PSA 10, the card is selling for $162. At $160, you can take a $25 investment and 6x your money. I like the sounds of that. So far there have been 772 graded by PSA. By summertime, could that number be 3, 4, 5,000? Absolutely, it could. However, the demand over CJ Stroud, I think, is going to be high enough to sustain the 3, 4, 5,000 pop counts. So I am not worried about that at all. There have been 393 PSA 9s for a 50.9% clip, 330 PSA 10s for a 42% clip. So you buy 20 cards at $25, that's $500. You have 20 cards graded at $19, that's $380. And you got $30 to send them to PSA and $30 to get them shipped back from PSA. So that's another $60. So this investment, if you do a 20 card bulk play of this CJ Stroud, is going to be $940 or just shy of $1,000. You take 20 of them times 50.9%. That's a hair over 10. So we're going to round up to 11. 20 times 42.7% for a gem rate. That's 8.54. We're going to round that to 9. So you take 11 cards at $53 each. That gives you $583 return. 9 cards at $162 each gives you $1,458 return. Add that together, and that's $2,041. Subtract your $940 investment. That gives you an $1,101 or right around an $1,100 potential profit. Take out eBay fees at 15%, and you're still profiting right around $800, $850 on this CJ Stroud 2023 Prism card. Is it? So question by in the live chat here, is it me or is it really hard to find centered 2023 prisms? I think it's you. I think that my experience with the 2023 is that quality control is very good. Matter of fact, best it's probably been since 2019 or 2020. And I think the centering on the 2023s is the best that I have seen probably since 2018. I've been very impressed with centering and condition of the prisms that I have seen. I've ripped open 2 hobby boxes and about 10 blaster boxes of 2023 football, and I have been impressed with the centering. So I think you're just running across a bad batch. I think if you look, there are a lot of centered, nicely prism cards on eBay. Whether you use the centering tool or just eyeball it. So yeah, I think stick at it and keep going. You're going to find some nice centered prism cards. Should we sell the CJ Stroud cards as soon as we get them back from PSA or hold them till the start of the NFL season? You can do either, as I mentioned. So if you sell them right away when you get them back, then it gives you the money to be able to make another play in May, and you could potentially get a 2-for-1. You could even make the same exact play on CJ Stroud if you wanted to, depending upon where the prices are in May. But yes, the nice thing with these bulk plays when I recommend them, they are not performance-driven sell markers. They are turn and burn. So you get them back from PSA and there's profit to be made, and you want to turn that profit as fast as you can so that you can reinvest it, go right ahead. If you want, the nice thing is that I do think that the CJ Stroud Prism cards are going to get a real nice lift in July and early August for the beginning of the season. So you also can hold on to them for an extra 3 months and sell them that way as well. So the choice is really yours, what you want to do. You can do either. And I think you'll be profitable either way. All right. The last play that I have for you guys here tonight, unless there's more questions in the live chat, is going to be 2020 Optic Hollow Justin Herbert. As you heard me say earlier, Herbert is one of my top football investments this year. I think that he is going to get off to a very fast start, and there is going to be a lot of hype around him with Harbaugh as his coach. So the Optic Hollow is a very liquid, very desirable card. And right now, these cards are very affordable for Justin Herbert. So we're going to make this play together. Raw cards are selling for $90 right now as of February 16th. There have been 19 of these in raw condition sell in the last 30 days. So this is a card that you could potentially get your 10 or 20 card play, however many you want to make here. And you could do it in the next 30 days because they are available on the market. A PSA 9 sells for $100, so you are essentially risking your grading fees. A PSA 10 is $315, so it's 3xing your money, which is pretty common. Raw to PSA 10 is typically 3 to 4x on a normal card, so that is right in line at $315. There have been 4,192 cards of this Optic Hollow graded by PSA so far. 1,627 of them are PSA 9s for a 38.8% rate. 2,301 are PSA 10s for a 54.9% gem rate. So I did this at a 20 card play. You can cut it down to 5. You can do 10, whatever your budget allows, really. It's really up to you. I do 20 because it makes for a nice round even number. So 20 times $90 is $1,800. 20 times $19 for grading is $380. Again, $30 shipping both ways to and from PSA gives you $60 in shipping. So you are going to have to spend up a little bit for this investment. It's $2,240 for a total investment. I'm actually going to show you an alternative to this as well when we're done. But anyways, 20 cards at 38.8% is 7.76. 20 cards at 54.9% is 10.98. So if you round up the 7.76 to 8 and you round up the 10.98 to 11, that only gives you 19 cards. So the math on this one tells you that you're going to get one PSA 8. However, what I did here is I rounded that 7.76 all the way up to 10, and I rounded the 10.98 down to 10 to try and be conservative. So the potential profit at the end is actually going to most likely be higher than what it is, just simply because I'm trying to be uber conservative here. Since you are forking out a $2,000 total investment, I want to make sure that you do as well as these numbers say, or even better. So 10 cards at $100 each is $1,000. 10 cards at $315 each is $3,150. So $4,150 in sales minus your $2,240 total investment gives you a $1,910 potential profit. So being conservative, your $2,000 investment returns you a $1,900 investment. The reason that I'm recommending this play is there aren't many plays that you can do where you spend $2,000 and you get $2,000. So I thought that this was a very fun bulk play to go, much like the CJ Stroud where you spend $1,000 and you make $1,100. These two bulk plays are designed to help you guys put some money in your bankroll so that you can go gamble and rip some more wax or whatever it is that you want to do. Here's the alternative. So I ran it so at $90 raw and 19 sales in the last 30 days. The 365-day average on this card for raw is $117. And I didn't want you having to try and say, well, Dr. Crack said I can buy it for 90, but they're all going for 105 or 110. So I ran this play because there's so much profit involved in this play. I ran the same exact bulk play with the cost being $117 per raw card. That takes your total investment from $2,240 up to $2,780. So it adds an additional $540 worth of investment cost. But I just wanted to show you that even if you had to pay a little more for the raw cards, this is still a really good play, because even at $2,780 for a total investment, that still leaves you with a $1,370 profit. So now you're 50 cents on the dollar instead of, $1 for $1, 100% return on investment. But there's a lot of people out there would love a 50 cent on the dollar investment. So I hope that you guys found this helpful. If there's any questions in the live chat here, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, we will call this a night, and we will, like I said, try and do this on a regular basis, starting again next Wednesday. Message me, personal message me if there's something that you'd like to see. Next week will either be the cracking the SGC 6 Wayne Gretzky live, or it will be a Bowman draft update. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and good luck collecting. Remember, you can reach out to me anytime, and I hope everybody makes a ton of money on these plays. Let me know how you did. Good luck, everybody. Thank you.